So just start off by telling me who you are and then how long you've been climbing.
My name's Drew Ruana. I'm 20 years old. I've been climbing since I was 3 years old, so pretty much most of my life now. My dad got me into climbing at a really young age, and yeah, been with it ever since. I joined a climbing team when I was 8 years old, and since then it's just been non-stop training. I've lived in Seattle my entire life. 4 weeks ago, I just moved to Salt Lake City for the outdoor climbing and for the training here. Right now, we're in the training center. It's an awesome tool for training for comps and outdoor projects and speed climbing. Training here has definitely influenced me moving out. Basically the sole reason. I'm spending this year just training in the gyms and trying to get outside as much as possible and trying to go to as many comps as possible. I've been really psyched on Joe's Valley lately. It's kind of becoming like my new favorite area, almost close to like considering it like a new like kind of home climbing area, even though I've only gone for like a week. The past 3 days I've spent in Joe's have been just truly like kind of eye-opening for myself to kind of see where I can take my own climbing. In 3 days I did 18 new double-digit boulders, which was I guess a personal record for myself. This is kind of just like a new step in my climbing. Black #1 is probably one of the cooler lines I've ever climbed. It was just such a treat being able to drive out kind of in the middle of nowhere and just see this perfect block. That one always I'm just gonna like remember just kind of how beautiful like outdoor climbs can get. When I'm outside, I love to just try and see how fast I can do things. You know, put a ton of effort into like a really solid like first go, like a flash go. I'll spend a bunch of time looking at beta, properly ticking the holds, like envisioning myself climbing the boulder. That way I just save a lot of energy and save a lot of skin, and ultimately allows me to climb more in a day if I can kind of do things fast. So definitely been prioritizing like trying to flash boulders. My training has definitely gotten pretty rigorous for a while, but I feel like this year in particular, I'm starting to get all the rewards from training I did 3 years ago. Kind of every single aspect of my life is way more controlled now. All this stuff has really like made a huge impact in the last few months. It's kind of like the first time I've been like feeling this new growth in my climbing. There are a few boulders that I had my eyes set on when I came out here, one of which was Slasher. Everybody knows Slasher. It's mega classic V13. Another lesser known one was this V14 Insurgency, which is an old James Litz line. James is a legend. He has established some of the hardest rope climbs and bouldering climbs in the country, and kind of repeating his lines is almost a rite of passage, I feel like.
How was it?
Oh man, dude. I'm remembering that for the rest of my life. Let's get it!
Wow, wow.
Sick. Kid's the future. Watch out.
Yeah, one thing I never really embraced until this year specifically was just you can always train harder, you can always try harder, you can always get a little bit more out of a session, and over time it just adds up and adds up. You can always do one more move, always just try a little bit harder, and when you get in a pattern of doing that, it just becomes habit. Just try as hard as you can every single day, and that's makes a big difference over time. Right now it's just because I'm kind of feeling this progression, it just makes me so much more motivated to train even harder and push myself even more and see what's possible for the future. I'm really excited to kind of use this week as a benchmark, and it's the best 3 days of climbing I've had in my life, and hopefully a year from now I'll have another 3 days that just blow this out of the water, and that's really exciting for me.